Top Gun plot, go. All right, all right. So I want for you guys to imagine, if you will, a future or a time period where I have movie making power decisions and I get to decide what the plot of Top Gun 2 is going to be. Now, I'm going to base a lot of what I'm going to say on the plot that we currently have in Top Gun 2, right? So I'm just going to be making like minor alterations that I think will make a big difference to the film. So we start off. You do the whole opening montage thing where planes are landing and taking off from an aircraft carrier. That's all cool. I love that throwback to the original film. Great. Except we then do not cut to Tom Cruise doing something completely different that has nothing to do with planes taking off. We cut to being in the sky with the planes that had just taken off because it's a Top Gun movie, for goodness sakes. And it's Maverick up there, obviously. And what is going on is some kind of drill or maneuvers where manned fighter jets and drones are flying together, right? And something happens, something screws up. It can be whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is that there is a mistake, and that mistake is Maverick's fault, right? So right off the bat, we're kind of going back to, Maverick blaming himself for Goose dying and shit like that. So something bad happens, it's Maverick's fault, or at least Maverick takes the blame for something that he did. So then we're in the aftermath of this, and we find out that the person who is in charge of the drone program is Goose's kid Rooster. Rooster, in this version of the film, was a fighter pilot, did go to Top Gun, did graduate from Top Gun, is one of the best fighter pilots, but decided to dedicate himself to drone warfare because in that scenario, if drones existed in 1986, his father would not have died. So he has personal stakes in the drone program succeeding because no more pilots would have to die. That's something that he cares a lot about. So he and Maverick are at odds because Maverick's like, yo, you can't think up there. You need to be able to read situations. Like, that's all Maverick's deal. He's all about flying by the seat of his pants, like his ass is on fire, or whatever the quote from the original film is. And Rooster is all about safety of the pilots. So then Admiral what's-his-name, Ed Harris, comes along and he's like, we had a mission. We were going to give it to Maverick's people. In this version, Ed Harris is speaking with a southern accent. And we gotta go do, we were going to give this mission to Maverick's people, but now we're not sure, haven't seen what's going on. Rooster's like, yo, let the drones do it. Like, obviously, we're the ones who should be going in because we are not a risk. And Maverick's like, no, we're the only people who can do this mission. We need to prove it to you. And so Admiral Ed Harris is like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to have a competition between Maverick's people and the drone people. And Maverick is going to be able to bring in on his team any person who's won Top Gun in the past. So it's going to be the best of the best versus the best drone fighter pilots, right? And so now we have our conflict. These two groups are going to be competing to go on this super dangerous mission. And what Maverick is going to do as a sneaky guy, he's going to say, okay, as part of my team, since I'm picking from winners of previous Top Guns, I'm going to pick Rooster. So now Rooster, under orders, has to join Maverick's team. And now he's put in a conflicting situation because people on his team don't really trust him. And Maverick's trying to build a relationship with him, but he doesn't want any part of that. Rooster doesn't want any part of that. But Rooster also wants his side to win because he wants pilots to live, but he doesn't want to disobey orders or put in his all because also that's not what his dad would have wanted. So he regretfully throws his lot in with Maverick because he has to, and then through them coming to learn to trust each other in this situation where they are rivals, but they do have a similar goal now, they learn to trust each other, and that's how they develop their relationship. It's then at that point that you get like sort of the mid-movie finale, let's say, where they're doing the sort of final exercise that will determine which side wins. And it's like Maverick and Rooster. I don't know if Rooster is a pilot in this or if he's a Rio in this. I haven't really decided that. But yeah, you basically have those two people flying together in order to determine who it is against the two best drone pilots, let's say. And once again, there's like a bit of a mistake. Maybe something happens to Rooster's plane where he needs to like crash land, but he's actually able to eject. And Maverick's like, oh my God, I can't believe this almost happened again. What could I have possibly, like, why do I keep doing this to myself? Why do I keep putting the people that I love in these situations? Maybe the drone program is the best way of doing it. And so Maverick, again, loses his confidence. And then maybe at that point he can go off and have a conversation with Admiral Iceman and see what happens. So then the drones get put forward as the people who are going to carry out this mission. But just in case, Maverick's team, are put on standby in case something happens with the drones. And of course, everyone's being sort of, they're kind of like on the same ship, right? On the same aircraft carrier. So of course, what's his name? Rooster is not with Maverick. He's overseeing the drone operation. Maverick is on the Alert 5 like he was in the first film. I'm not mad at having callbacks to the first film, but I just want them to be put in different contexts, right? That's key for me. And so what happens then? Obviously something bad has to go wrong with the drones. They all drop out of the sky. And so Maverick is like forced to launch on the Alert 5. So he goes with a few other people. Immediately after the drones fall out of the air, Rooster starts to suit up, and then he gets to make the rescue save at the end, just like Maverick did in the first movie, when Maverick gets overwhelmed with the odds of whatever is going on this mission. It's Rooster that gets to make the save. He gets to have that full circle moment where he gets to save a fighter pilot because he had the option of getting in a plane and going to save his father's best friend. And then Maverick realizes that he did a good job of like teaching or helping Rooster become like a better pilot through like their adversity or whatever. And they both have these sort of like complete arcs where they're then able to just be friends at the end of it, or like be comrades at the end of it. And then we basically finish the movie with the two of them getting onto the flight deck and having that emotional hug that Iceman and Maverick had at the end of the first movie. Once again, I'm okay with playing with nostalgia. Just put it in a different context and put it in the right context for the film. And then that's where we end. That's the ending of the movie. That's the movie, right? Like, you don't need to make a Top Gun movie that's all about just the fighter pilots. Some of the best stuff in Top Gun is the relationship stuff. Is building of trust, is the secrets that people tell, how, the relationship between Maverick and Charlie, how that could affect Charlie's career, like shit like this. So yeah, that's what I would do. Is that a good idea? What do you guys think of my Top Gun idea? Does that work?